Hi, everyone. This is Suri Deitch. We're going to give it another minute before we start the webinar. Thanks for joining us. Okay. That was a nice roll wave from Matt Edens on the chat function on the bottom of the screen. I'm Suri Deitch, and I'm the Dean of the School of Professional Advancement. Thanks for joining us this evening for this webinar about our graduate certificate and degree programs. I'm here with a few of my colleagues who I'm going to introduce in a minute. Well, there we go. You can see our pictures. The agenda for the webinar you can see in front of you. I know we have one person who's on the phone, so you'll miss a little bit, but we're glad to have you, and most of it you'll be able to catch by listening. So we're going to talk about the School of Professional Advancement itself and Tulane. We're going to talk about our programs, and then some important areas like student success, our advisement and career development services, how to apply the process, tuition and financial aid, and then we'll see if there are additional questions at the end. At any time during this webinar, you can go ahead and type a question or a comment in the chat box at the bottom of the screen. That's the best place to put it. And my colleagues will be monitoring that, and we will answer your question by typing something back or by saying something out loud. So I'm going to be facilitating the webinar, but I'll go ahead and introduce my colleagues. So Sheila Gold, who is the Executive Director of Recruitment and Admissions, Amanda Hassan, who is the Director of Academic Advising, Kenley Fight, who is our Admissions Associate, and Madison Duncan, who you don't see because she's running the slides behind the scenes. So I think we have a short video to share. Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. We're going to share the short video, and then we're going to go back a little bit. So go ahead.
SOPA's mission is to offer high-quality academic programs at the undergraduate and graduate level to working adults and early career professionals in New Orleans and beyond.
What's exciting about the Tulane School of Professional Advancement is they're fast-moving, innovative, creative, using the latest technologies and methods of instruction to prepare students of today for the opportunities of tomorrow.
We are constantly innovating to make sure that the skills and knowledge that we offer in our programs are completely up to date with what's needed in industry.
It is the best education I can get in my particular field at the best value. And on top of all of that, I get to join the legacy that is Tulane.
When you leave the Tulane School of Professional Advancement, you have this incredibly rich set of experiences that you can bring to bear no matter where your professional or personal path takes you. You're not only participating in education, you're investing in yourself and your future.
Thanks a lot. We like that video, which we made a number of months ago. We've actually launched new master's degrees since then. So it says 9 master's degrees. That's actually not true anymore. But it's one of the things I really like about it is that the provost of the university, who's the chief academic officer, is in it and talking about SOPA and how important it is for Tulane. And then 2 alums who we highlight, Lauren Andress, who is an undergraduate alum from our digital design program, and Mike Antoine from Homeland Security, who's the Deputy Director of Homeland Security for the City of New Orleans. And we have them and lots of other amazing alumni, and we look forward to having you join their ranks. So I'll say a little bit about SOPA, and then I think say a little bit about myself as well. So some of you I know are familiar with Tulane and may know a little bit of the history, but one of the things that I think is so important to share about this school is that it actually goes back to a very long time. So this is a school within Tulane that focuses on working adults and applied learning. We are highly diverse. Our students range in age from 17 to 77, actually. And we have a great combination of on-ground and online programs. And at the master's level, which we'll be talking about tonight, most of the programs are online. One of them, the Master of Liberal Arts, is a mix, is mostly on ground, but you can take some online classes. And Tulane's commitment to supporting working adults, like I said, it goes back a long time. You can see on the screen that the university started educating adults in the 1880s. And ever since then, there have been various iterations of the school and its programs. A school called University College was created in 1942. After Katrina, it was renamed the School of Continuing Studies. And then in 2017, we renamed it the School of Professional Advancement, which we thought was a good reflection of where the school is at now. Tulane is really unusual as an elite private university for having this long-term commitment to applied learning that's relevant to the workplace and to such a diverse group of students. And so we're really proud of that. And I and my colleagues who are on the webinar tonight, all of us have the experience of going to school and balancing that with jobs and families. And so we know how challenging it is, and we also know how rewarding it is. And I'll say for myself that it wasn't until I was in my 30s and working on my PhD that I really truly enjoyed school for the first time and really enjoyed the ways in which I was able to make connections between what I was learning in class and my work and my life, and influence my perspective on society overall. And I know that you'll feel the same if you join us. So next slide. You can see, I've said a little bit about this already, but we have a combination of online and on-ground classes. So we have incredible diversity with our online students, many of whom are in the Gulf South region, but they range to Hawaii and Alaska as well. Students in New York, Pennsylvania, Texas, Florida, and everyone looking for the same high quality interactive experience that you can get from a Tulane online degree. And in our Master of Liberal Arts, the opportunity to learn from some of the best humanities faculty in the university. So you can see this slide, and that describes our flexibility. Next slide. So some of you may be familiar with online learning. A lot of it sort of in the world today is pretty low quality and not terribly interactive, and deserves the bad reputation that it sometimes has. But there is a space in the online learning world where SOPA sits and where several other institutions sit, where we have all the advantages of being online in terms of the interactivity, in terms of the access to multimedia, in terms of the access to experts from all around the world who can be consulted with in class and in the work that you do. And we worked really hard to create an amazing online experience that is focused on learning, focused on directly connecting what you're doing in your course with what you're supposed to be learning, which is often not the case in higher education, right? Sometimes you go to class and you say, where did these readings come from? That is never the case with our online courses, because we are extremely rigorous in how we approach putting the whole package together. We combine what's called asynchronous and synchronous learning. So most of the time you're either doing work on your own or you're communicating with peer students through discussion boards and sometimes through class projects. And then once a month, typically, we have a live meeting through video where you as students can get to know each other more, get to know the instructor. A lot of times you'll have a guest speaker for that synchronous class. And we think it's a really great combination because it gives you both the experiences of doing work on your own and interacting with your peers. And it's a schedule that working adult students in particular find to be pretty manageable, even though it's still a lot of work. And online learning in general is a lot of work. There's a lot of flexibility as well. So this is just a quick photograph that shows you our online learning management system. It's a platform called Canvas, and it is easy to navigate. You have one place that you go for all of your classes. Once you go into a class, all the materials are there. You don't have to go search on the web to find a video that you need to see or to find readings. It's all packaged for you in one place and structured so that it's very clear when your assignments are due, what the expectations are of you. We have standards for how students communicate with faculty and how faculty communicate back. And it's a great experience, and it's a really fabulous platform. These technology platforms keep getting better and better, and Canvas is a really excellent one. So I'm going to say a little bit about the programs that we offer, just going through the next slides to make sure that folks know what it is that we have within the school. So the first area is emergency and security studies. You may be aware that we have a nationally ranked Homeland Security master's degree. And from that master's degree, we've drawn master's programs and certificates in emergency management and security management. We have faculty from the public and private sectors who are based in the United States and elsewhere, some of them in the New Orleans area. They provide not just the great instruction and the experience that they've gained in the field, but also a lot of value in terms of professional networks, which is true for faculty in all of our programs. And Homeland Security Studies was actually the first master's degree that SOPA offered online. So we are especially proud of it. Humanities and Social Sciences is where our Master of Liberal Arts sits. And like I said, this is the one program that is not an online program. Most of the classes are offered at our Uptown campus in New Orleans. Some of the classes are online. And the majority of the faculty in this program are humanities faculty from across Tulane in various specializations. So medieval English or Jewish studies or philosophy. And they are an incredible faculty. They are great scholars in their own right. And they also love to teach adult students. And so the Master of Liberal Arts is a really special program in that way. Information technology, we have 2 master's degrees, information technology management and cybersecurity management. Both of these programs are focused on serving professionals or early career folks who have technical backgrounds in IT or computer science or another STEM field. And the purpose of the programs is to help you as students be ready to take on senior management roles within organizations or within your own companies. And so that's why we call them management degrees. And you can see the certificate programs that are underneath them. Sometimes we have students who want to come to the school and be in one of these programs who don't have the technical backgrounds that they need in order to enter the program. And so for those students, we have options as well, where you can take a series of courses to develop your basic technology skills and then be ready to go into one of these two programs. Kinesiology is an area where we have 2 master's degrees as well. One of them in health and wellness management. This is a program that we've had for about 4 years. And the other one in sports studies. Sports studies is our most recently launched master's degree. And within sports studies, you can see below, we have 3 graduate certificates. And you can actually take 2 of the graduate certificates plus a research methods course and a survey course called Sport and Society, and then you get a master's degree. I should just say that in every instance where we're offering certificate programs, if you enroll in the certificate program initially and you decide that you want to continue on for the master's degree, you can apply the courses from the certificate toward the master's degree. Usually that's for one certificate program, which is 4 courses. In the case of sports studies, it's for 2 certificate programs. And the audience for all of these programs varies. I would just say with sports studies, because it's our newest program, that we are attracting a pretty wide range of folks who work as professionals in sports, former athletes who are coming out of careers, maybe in college as an athlete, or in a professional sports arena like the NFL, or even folks who coach a little league team and just want to punch up their sport coaching skills. I mean, that's the kind of range that we're seeing in the program so far, and we're really excited about it. And then finally, this program in public administration, a master's of public administration, is our newest program. The program is opening this fall, 2020, and we are starting to admit students right now. Actually, we just admitted our first student this week. And it has an asterisk at the bottom of the slide, which means that we are waiting for our accreditor to approve the program, which we know will happen. I'd say we're 99.9% confident that it will be approved in the next couple months, and then we'll take the asterisk off of the slide. But this is a new program with these 4 graduate certificates, 2 of which, the one in education and the one in nonprofits and philanthropy, that will be available this coming fall, 2020. And the other 2 in economic development and environmental management that will be available in August 2021. And the audience for this program, like with our other programs, is pretty diverse. So the students in it will be a combination of people who are early career, some of them coming just out of college, some of them deciding that they want to switch careers, and then folks who have a lot of experience in the field and want to deepen their expertise and maybe get the master's degree that they need to advance professionally. And I'll just say I'm on the faculty of the public administration program, and I'm excited about that as well. So now we're going to talk, or I'm going to talk about a few different aspects of the school overall that we think are really important for you to know about. if as you're considering graduate study with us. So one piece is that we have a process for using your life and work experience to count toward coursework in your program. In some cases, like with Homeland Security, for example, we actually have formal arrangements with organizations like the National Guard and the Marine Corps College, where we award a certain number of credits for folks who've been through training and education with those entities. But most of the time what happens is that we work with you to develop a portfolio where you document how your experience matches up with the learning objectives of our coursework. And then once you have done that, we work with you to make sure that you are likely to be able to get credit for that. Once you have done that, we can award you credit. We have expert faculty who evaluate your portfolio and actually assign you a grade. And this is something that we do at both the undergraduate and graduate levels. I see a question about the TSA, the Federal Transportation Security Administration, which is a great question. So we don't have a formal arrangement with the TSA, although we would be very interested to, if you have any ideas about how to approach that. And I think in your instance, what we would do, depending on the program, is that we would have our advisors, possibly led by Amanda Hassan, who's on this call, talk to you and make a connection with the faculty to be able to let you know if we think that your experience would be a match for some of the courses. And you're welcome to just go online and look at the Homeland Security program or emergency management or security management and the coursework and see if you think this might be an area where you could document your experience and get the credit and be able to place out of some of the coursework. We have an infrastructure of support we've built around our students because we want to make your experience such that you can focus on your studies and you can excel in your coursework and you can earn your degree or your certificate in a timely fashion. Like I said, we have a lot of experience with balancing work and other parts of life. And we have academic advisors who are assigned to work with specific programs. Like I said, our faculty, who are a combination of full-time faculty and adjuncts from the field, all bring industry experience and perspective and the professional networks that allows them to have, and they give students the benefit of those professional networks as well. We have a full-time career advisor on staff at the school who does things like organize industry panels where you can interact with people from the field in which you are studying, as well as give workshops and even one-on-one appointments to help you tighten up your resume or work on an elevator speech for the next time you go on an interview. And one of the great things about our career advisement is that we're able to really take account of the experience that you're bringing to your programs and help you figure out how to build on that to take the next step professionally. And then, of course, learning from your peers is one of the best parts of being a student at SOPA, because the other students are so experienced and bring so much to the programs. But you also become part of the network of Tulane alumni around the world, and there are benefits that come from that in terms of access to job opportunities, access to professional networks and events, and so forth. And not just in New Orleans, but really literally in many places around the world. So we have a pretty straightforward application process. And some of you may have already started your applications for admission. Hopefully some more of you will start them after this evening. You simply go online onto our website. We have a system where you put in your name and email address, and you start to fill out the application, which is online, obviously. Depending on the program, there'll be different essays that we use to evaluate whether or not you might be a good fit for the program. There is a $50 application fee, although the fee is going to be waived for those of you who are on the webinar this evening automatically. I see that Claire has raised her hand. Claire, you want to go ahead and talk and ask your question? Or is it in the chat? I see. Okay. So Claire asked about setting up an appointment, and Amanda gave her a response. And you'll find through the admissions process that we are very hands-on. That's why I, as Dean, am speaking to you in this webinar, and why you have Sheila, Amanda, and Kenley on as well, who along with other folks, are going to be here to help you navigate this process. We require a government-issued ID, a copy of it, which is pretty simple to do. You just take a photo of it. And then we will require transcripts from you. And if you have access to your unofficial transcripts from all of the institutions that you have attended, you can upload those into the application portal, and we can even review those. And we will just need official transcripts sent directly to us from the institution before you register for classes. And you can easily find out more information about how to do that on our website. These days, organizations or universities generate the transcripts within 24 hours generally. I see a question from Stephen, who already paid his application fee, which we will happily refund. So thanks for pointing that out. And I'll move on to the next slide. These are our application deadlines, which are the same every year. So right now we're accepting applications for summer and fall 2020. We will open up applications for spring 2021, which sounds really far away, in the next several weeks. These are the final deadlines for our graduate programs. If you have started an application as of this date, we can work with you to wrap it up and get everything in so that we can consider you for the session that starts right after. So August 15th for classes that start in late August, and May 15th for classes that start in late May. But it's also the case that we may have programs where the program fills. And so even though that's our deadline, we would want you to apply earlier so that you have a prospect of getting in for the term that when you want to start. I see a question about how online classes are set up. And I think actually we should follow up with you separately, Christina, so we can give you a little bit more exposure to our learning management system. But essentially, once you become enrolled and register for a class, the class that you're in will be on your portal as a student, so that whenever you log in to the Tulane website, you'll see all the classes in which you're enrolled on that learning management system. So tuition and financial aid, this is our summer 2020 tuition. In fall 2020, it's going to go up about another $40 a credit. So the total cost of a master's degree from SOPA is in the range of $30,000 or a little bit over, which for the kind of institution that you'll be attending is highly competitive and relatively reasonable tuition, even though it is still a lot of money. And so we're proud to have competitive tuition at the graduate level, and also know that going to school and balancing the financial demands of school with everything else is a challenge for many of our students. And so Tulane has a financial aid office and counselors, and many of our graduate students are on financial aid. We also have some institutional aid for students with experience in particular fields, as well as the Yellow Ribbon Program. So students who are who have access to federal GI Bill benefits because they are veterans also can take advantage of the Yellow Ribbon Scholarship, which fills the gap between your GI Bill benefits and our tuition. I see some other questions and comments about financial aid and other things. Kenley has put her email address into the chat box. She's a great person to talk to about financial aid and financing school, as well as she says in the chat about online. The 20% discount does not apply to active duty spouses. It's that is for individuals who themselves are active duty. And let's see, after this, we are done. So that's a lot of information that we've gone through in a relatively short period of time. We will send you a link to this webinar so that you have it should you wish to watch it again. And it may be, you may as well want to reach out directly to Kenley or Amanda, who put their email addresses in the chat. And then on the next slide, you will see contact information for Sheila Gold, who, as we said at the beginning, is the Executive Director of Recruitment and Admissions. All of our information is available on the website for the school. We're highly accessible. As you go through the process of applying, we'll be in touch with you, and we're always available to talk. So I don't see any more questions in the chat box. I want to thank you for your time this evening. We appreciate you taking time out to be with us in this webinar. I see a final question from Christina. The classes are full semester classes, so we run 3 terms a year, fall and spring, which are both 15 weeks, and summer, which is 12 weeks. And so in that way, you know, a lot of our students take summer classes, and that's a great way to make progress toward your degree by taking summer classes in addition to fall and spring. So thanks to my colleagues who listened in on the webinar. And again, thanks so much to everyone who attended. And we look forward to being in touch with you and seeing you as students soon. Have a good evening.